Every Christmas season, certain movies get treated like untouchable classics, but are they actually as good as people say? Hello everyone and welcome back to AustinPlus commentary, and welcome to the first day of the 12 days of Christmas content, where today we are going to be looking at the most overrated Christmas movies out there, and why the hype might be bigger than other films themselves. Now, I absolutely love Christmas films. I've been watching multiple Christmas films since the beginning of December, and I'll confess also November as well. So I have seen quite a few, so I thought this would probably be a good way to start off the Christmas spirit with knowing what films to watch during this holiday spirit season. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first of all, we actually have to understand what makes an overrated Christmas movie. But a Christmas movie becomes overrated when the reputation surrounding it grows larger than what the film actually delivers. And this usually happens when nostalgia outshines substance. These are films that people remember fondly from their childhood or holiday traditions, like watching this movie because it is that time of year. But when viewed objectively, they may feel predictable, creatively safe, or overly dependent on the holiday atmosphere, rather than having a strong storytelling or character depth. Now, there are multiple movies that do that with the holiday atmosphere. It's to give you the Christmas vibe, which is, I think that aspect can be used as a write-off because it is a Christmas movie. It is supposed to be Christmas related, so that holiday atmosphere is what you're looking for. But in terms of the storytelling and character depth, it depends on what kind of movie you're watching. That's why the three that I've chosen all represent something different types of genre in terms of Christmas movies. Many of these movies are replayed every year, building a cultural presence that suggests that they're masterpieces, even if their writing, pacing, or originality doesn't quite match the hype that these movies receive. It's important to emphasize that overrated doesn't mean bad. I'm not saying that these movies are bad. It just means that the praise that these movies get and the cultural weight of these movies outweigh the actual quality or long-term impact of the film. So number one is Polar Express. Now, I know a lot of people like that, including my father. However, I'm not a big fan, and here is why. Polar Express had a very massive nostalgic following with modern eyes and modern people watching it, but it shows several clear weaknesses. The motion capture animation was cutting edge at the time, but now looks strangely stiff and uncanny, often limiting the character's emotional expression and making dramatic moments feel a bit flat and deflated. The film also stretches a short picture book into a feature-length movie by adding long filler sequences that don't enhance the story by any means. Much of its reputation comes from its cozy vibe, the memorable music, and the holiday aesthetic rather than the strong narrative structure or the character development. However, it does remain beloved, especially at this time of year. There's local cinemas that are still showing it and re-releasing it for this time of year, and it remains beloved, especially for those who grew up watching it, but it's calling for a flawless Christmas masterpiece. But calling it a flawless Christmas masterpiece may be giving it more weight than it truly earned. The second is Elf. Elf is widely considered one of the funniest and most iconic Christmas movies, but some viewers feel its appeal relies almost entirely on Will Ferrell's loud, chaotic energy, rather than the clever writing or balanced humor. Several jokes lean into forced silliness, which can feel repetitive or overly frantic depending on the viewer's taste, and the story itself follows a very simple, predictable formula without many surprises. Although the movie is undeniably fun, full of charm, and still absolutely hilarious to anyone that loves Christmas movie comedies, like myself, its frequent placement as the top best Christmas movies of all time might not hold up if you take out the nostalgic aspect of it. And when nostalgia fades, which sometimes it does, the film is judged based on structure and then sentiment, which can bring it down if it ever comes to it. As I said with Polar Express, the same thing's happening with Elf. It is being reshown in cinemas for this time of year, and it still is good. However, it does get too much recognition compared to most of them. Now lastly, this is a different type of genre Christmas movie that I've ever seen, and it's Love Actually. But Love Actually remains to be a staple of holiday rewatching. I have seen bits of it because my parents like to watch it at this time of year, but its popularity often glosses over the film's structural flaws. With so many intersecting storylines, several of them feel very rushed or underdeveloped, while others lean into the unrealistic or even questionable romantic dynamics. The movie also shifts abruptly between comedy and drama, creating a tone that can feel a bit uneven, and the distribution of screen time leaves some characters overexposed and others barely explored, so there's no balance with it. And though the film does have various bits of charm, warmth, and memorable moments, the yearly praise it receives often overlooks how messy it can really be and how messy it truly is. Now, those are my top 3, but I have listed a couple honorable mentions that I'll go over very quickly. But several other Christmas movies frequently spark debates of being overrated. And by saying that, please don't come for me in the comments. This is just my opinion, please. A Christmas Story is considered a timeless classic for many, but others find it pacing slow, its humor dated, and its repetitive structure less engaging than its reputation suggests. Now, I read this one, but I completely disagree. But Home Alone 2 is Lost in New York has strong nostalgia appeal, but it's essentially a bigger, louder, nearly identical rerun of the original movie. Yes, it is strong. Yes, it is louder. Yes, it is bigger, but it's not an identical rerun. It's called Home Alone for a reason, and it's still a phenomenal film, and I still watch it to this day. If I could watch it throughout the year, I would, so I disagree with that one. But The Nightmare Before Christmas is also another masterpiece that many fans, yet its style is very stop-motion aesthetic. The tone land is more like a Halloween movie than a traditional Christmas movie, and not everyone connects with its mood or music. Now, once again, none of these movies are bad. They're simply just films where cultural hype often extends the actual depth, originality, or storytelling strength, but they still bring holiday cheer, which is what we all want in the end. So what are the most overrated Christmas movies out there? Do you have any suggestions? Whether it's nostalgia, tradition, or decades of hype, some movies still will have more credit than they deserve. It is the way of entertainment. Something's going to be better than another. It's just how it works. And that's fine, and the holidays aren't about perfection. But it's fun to look at the past, the sparkles, and ask, are these movies actually great, or do we just watch them because it's December? But without further ado, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe and comment what else you would like to see on this channel, and I hope you all have an amazing day as always, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!
Yeah!